Once again, you're so inconsiderate.
Why? What did I do?
Can't you think a little more about me when you do things? Do you have any idea how tired I am?
I know you're tired, but unless you tell me specifically what you need, I can't read your mind.
A wife is supposed to know what to do without me having to spell it out. So for this weekend, did you book the resort I wanted to go to?
The resort? This is the first I'm hearing about it.
Exactly why I say you're not considerate. If I want to go, shouldn't you already be booking it without me having to ask?
Wait a second. You can't just spring a vacation on me out of the blue. I have my own plans, and those resorts are expensive.
Expensive? You think I'm going to let a small thing like that stop me? We're married, so obviously you should be the one to pay for it.
That doesn't mean I have to cover all the costs. This is something you want, so shouldn't you at least pitch in?
You just don't get it. I work hard every day and deserve a vacation. Why is it so hard for you to understand my struggles?
Struggles? I'm the one managing all the household chores and childcare on top of my own work. Couldn't you help out once in a while?
Help? Me? I work hard for this family, and now you expect me to do small chores too?
Small chores? Don't talk about family responsibilities like they're not your problem.
And there it is. Even after all these years, you still don't get me. You're incapable of showing even a little concern to make things easier on me.
And you can't consider that I'm taking on a huge load here too?
You have no right to say that when you can't understand what I deal with. Look, you're covering the entire cost of the vacation this time. That's the bare minimum of what I expect.
Hold on. I can't just pull out that kind of money at the drop of a hat.
Yes, you can. All it takes is a bit of consideration and planning on your part. Why can't you just try harder without me telling you all this?
Read between the lines. I'm only human. I can't just know everything without you saying it, and frankly, I don't have the extra energy to cater to every whim of yours.
Whim? My wish to enjoy a vacation after working hard for this family is now a whim? Do you even realize how disrespectful that sounds?
Fine, but at least take charge of a few things for once. Or maybe help out with planning.
Me? Well, absolutely not. My pride wouldn't allow it.
I have no idea how that's even relevant here, but whatever.
Anyway, make sure you take care of all the preparations this time. Set everything up perfectly so I could just relax.
I'm telling you, I can't cover everything.
No excuses. The real issue here is that you refuse to understand. You haven't changed at all after all these years.
Ugh, I can't communicate with you.
Hey, I need to tell you something.
What? Out of the blue?
I'm done. I've had enough.
Huh?
I want a divorce.
Are you okay? What's this nonsense about?
It's not nonsense. I'm serious.
And why would that be?
Well, I figure you'd at least want to know why, so I'll explain. We met when I was 21 and you were just 19 through our family connections. Because of the pressure from our parents, I wasn't thrilled about it. We barely knew each other, and then half a year later we were married. Surprised us both, didn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
But I went through with it because I wanted to live up to my family's expectations. Now, somehow, it's been 43 years. Time's gone by and we had Sean, raised him, and went through life as a family. I thought I'd done my part.
Done your part? You may think that, but in reality, you left all the housework and everything to do with Sean to me. Do you remember that? I worked and raised him at the same time. Have you ever even thought about how little you actually contributed to this family?
Didn't expect you to say it like that. I worked hard to protect this family, no matter how hard things got. But I've reached my limit. I can't keep living like this.
Jeez.
I wasn't put on this earth just to take care of you for the sake of marriage. I want to live for myself now. I'm done living with you, so pack up and go. And just so you know, I don't plan on giving you a single cent. You can beg all you want, but I won't care.
Take care of me? You talk as if I depended on you all my life. I worked to raise this family too, you know. Do you really not acknowledge that? And you're saying you're kicking me out without even considering a fair division of assets?
There's no need for dividing anything. What I earned is mine. Don't overthink it. Just take your stuff and get out. There's no place for you at home anymore.
That's what you think, huh? So you're serious about leaving our entire life and everything we've built together behind. Is that really how you feel?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I don't care about family ties or memories. I don't have time to waste on any of that. So pack up whatever is in your name and get out of this house.
As much as I'd love to jump to it, I'm on my way home from work. Plus, if you're telling me to only take what's in my name, then obviously I'll need to get inside to pay my things, right? Will you at least let me do that?
Oh.
Isn't it obvious? All my things are in the house, so to take them, I have to go inside, don't I? If you're really kicking me out, I'll need time to prepare.
Well, alright. Just this once.
Okay, I'll head home now, but I'll need a bit of time. I'll have to go and rent a U-Haul to move my things. You spring this on me out of nowhere, so I need time to prepare too. And I have one request. Don't touch any of my things. I'd rather you not mess with or throw anything away. Promise me that, alright?
Yeah, fine. If you insist, I'll hold off.
Thanks for these 43 years.
What? Seriously. A normal woman would beg me not to leave at a time like this. At least if you did that, it might show a little charm. But no, you're completely hopeless. All you ever think about is yourself. There's no gratitude toward me at all. Kept you waiting, huh? I wanted to get this over with sooner. But anyway, I just had a meeting with the lawyer.
But this is a new low, you know. Throwing a crumpled list of demands you came up with. Did you actually give it to your lawyer? I bet he was dumbfounded. Anyone would get suspicious after a list like that.
That crumpled paper shows how many times I've thought it over. It's got meaning. Think whatever you want.
If you say so. Now that it's going forward, I have to check on other things. There are a few important things to take care of, you know.
Important things? What are you talking about? Are you planning to make it difficult?
I'm talking about insurance and taxes. We've separated, so we both need new health care, right? I'll be switching mine, and I suggest you get on that soon.
Oh, right. I guess that's something we need to sort out.
Anyway, I have to say thanks. I can finally have my own life. I went through plenty, but now I'm free.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you really need to make such a big deal out of it?
Yes, it's a big deal. Make sure you get on with that health insurance soon. Don't wait. After all, now that you're off my plan, you should be prepared for this yourself.
Off your plan? I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, don't you see? I have one less dependent now. I feel a lot lighter.
Huh? Hold on. You're the one getting removed, not me. This divorce means you're off my back, right? That means the insurance is your responsibility now.
Are you seriously that delusional? Did you really think I was the one relying on you? You're the one who's been working part-time at my nephew's factory. Or did you miss that fact?
Part-time? Me?
Oh, you don't mean to tell me you had no idea about your employment status after 6 years, right?
Okay, yeah, I started as a part-timer, but 6 years? I've been there long enough to be a full-timer now. I mean, I've put in my share, haven't I?
Did the company ever tell you that you became a full-timer, or did you just assume it?
No. I guess they didn't say it directly.
So you weren't really tracking your paycheck each month?
No. You handled all the finances, so I didn't really.
You've gotta be kidding me. With shifts that vary day to day, you really didn't know?
Well, what are we talking about?
Fine, I can see you're really in the dark here. So I'll explain everything clearly. Remember 3 years ago when you were laid off due to downsizing at your old job? And after that my nephew hired you part-time at his factory? Are we clear up to here?
Yeah, of course. I remember that much, at least.
Good. Now, listen carefully to what I'm about to say. You're probably going to hear some things you didn't know. So don't interrupt until I'm finished. Alright?
Things I didn't know? What? You never told me there was anything I didn't know about.
Exactly. You were kept out of the loop for a reason. The truth is, around the time you were looking for a new job, I was promoted to manager at the company I was working for.
Manager? You got promoted? This is the first time I hear about it.
Yes, that's right. Let's get one thing clear. I never told you because you made the rule that we don't bring work discussions into the house. Remember? That was your rule and I respected it. You understand? That's why I never told you about it till now.
Okay. So you're the manager now?
Director.
What? Seriously? Why did you...
As I said, because of the rule you insisted on.
Ugh.
Now about that health insurance and the other things I mentioned. Make sure you take care of it soon. I'll leave contact information for our son's sake. But otherwise, don't expect to hear from me unless necessary.
Wait.
Bye.
Pick up the phone. How many times do I have to call you before you answer? Pick up already. Diane, money.
Excuse me? What money?
Why is there no money?
No money? Don't tell me you're accusing me of touching your account.
What's going on? There's only 20,000 left. I thought there'd be way more. It makes no sense.
Did you finally check your balance for the first time in ages? Don't tell me you haven't looked in years.
Well, yeah. I left everything to you, so I figured I didn't need to worry about it.
Unbelievable. Sure, I managed the account, but for you to bring this up now? That account only received the part-time wages from my nephew's company. You're aware that's not a high income, right?
Yeah, I get that, but why is that an issue?
Oh, yes, it's an issue. Your next payday is 2 days away. So, for this time of month, having just 20,000 left is completely normal.
Really?
Actually, every month around this time, I've been topping off your account with my own money just to keep it from hitting zero. That's the only reason you still have money in your account.
No way. Why would you do that?
Because you kept blowing through your credit card, still spending like you did before you got laid off. I was covering it every month to prevent issues with the credit card company.
Wait a minute.
Do you get it now? Your annual income was under 30,000.
Holy crap, that's all? I can't believe it.
Honestly, looking back, I can't believe how naive I was. Every time you overspent, I had to make sure your balance didn't hit zero. I kept hoping you would rein in your reckless spending.
I see. I had no idea you were doing all that.
Oh, and about that 20,000, remember when you said you wouldn't give me a single cent? That was in reference to the division of our assets during the divorce, right? But in reality, I was covering most of our living expenses, utilities, and rent myself. We barely scraped by, and our savings hardly increased thanks to your spending habits.
How much exactly?
28,000. That's all I managed to save over our entire marriage. And when it's time to split it, each of us is entitled to 14,000. But since you'd likely end up penniless from your spending, I'll leave the entire amount in your account. Just like you demanded. Ironic, isn't it?
Wait.
So, if there are only 20,000 left now, then 8,000 must have gone toward this month's credit card payment.
Did I really spend that much?
You really have no clue how much you've been wasting, do you? And all this time you thought you could just leave it to me to handle.
You should have stopped me earlier then.
I tried to, but you insisted that managing the finances is a wife's job, so you just kept spending without a thought. I was stuck trying to figure out how to save for retirement. Honestly, I'm relieved we're divorcing. Managing alone, I can stretch things out and make it work.
Are you serious? I never even realized.
Well, since you're no longer under my support, you should start working harder. Maybe ask your company for more shifts.
Actually, this is a bit awkward to say, but I was asked about increasing my shifts before. And I, pretty firmly said I'd rather stick with the current schedule without thinking it through.
Are you serious? You turned down extra shifts knowing that would affect your income?
Yeah. At the time, I didn't think it would impact my pay. I didn't realize I'd end up in this situation. So, could you maybe ask your nephew to help me out with this?
Are you seriously asking me to go to him for help? Are you crazy?
Well, it's awkward to go back to my boss after I turned him down, you know. But if your nephew, as the CEO, could ask, maybe they'd make an exception. I really do want to work more.
Not my problem. You're putting me in an awkward position. We're divorcing, so you're no longer in a position to ask my nephew for any favors.
Oh, come on.
Oh, absolutely not. We're getting a divorce, you know, which means there's no longer any family connection between us. Any leeway you may have gotten as a relative is gone. You'll just have to handle things yourself from here on out.
But I didn't think it'd come to this.
Stop relying on me. I'm no longer here to help, and I'm definitely not the person to depend on now. Goodbye.
Help me! I don't know what to do. Can you at least pick up the phone? Hear me out. Diane, what am I supposed to do?
What now?
I'm completely stuck. I'm going to lose the house. I never thought it'd come to this.
Wait, are you serious? Right, of course. With your current income, there's no way you can afford the rent. You had no idea how big a financial burden it was, but I didn't expect it to hit you this fast.
I honestly had no idea rent for this place was $3,000 a month. I assumed it'd be half of that.
For a single family home in this area, it's actually on the lower end. Seriously, have you been living there without knowing the rental market?
I mean, where I'm from, rent is much less. 1,000 or so is totally normal.
Yeah, if you're out in the country. This area is nothing like that. And remember, I'm the one who signed the lease for that place. You're not even on the rental agreement.
Really? So this place isn't in my name? I didn't know that at all.
Right, so I'll be terminating the lease soon. It's just not feasible for you to stay there.
Oh my god. I'll really have to move.
Take the money you got from the asset division and find a cheaper place as soon as you can. Moving has upfront costs, and it can be challenging to find a decent place for cheap. So, the sooner the better.
Alright. I'll just have to make it work somehow. It's over. It's all over. What am I supposed to do? I really messed up.
You again.
I don't know what to do.
I already heard from my nephew. You made some huge mistake that brought the production line to a halt, right? And now, because of that, the company suffered major losses.
Yeah, that's right. I finally made a huge mistake, and they fired me to take responsibility.
So?
Wait, so? Do something.
What do you expect me to do? You're calling me your ex-wife to, what, fix this for you somehow?
Listen, I got an idea. You're living with Sean and Sabrina now, right?
Mm-hmm. They actually insisted I move in with them.
Then why don't we switch places? You shouldn't be there. I should.
Excuse me? What makes you think that?
Because it's not fair that you get to live comfortably with them, eating for free and taking it easy. I want a peaceful retirement too.
Sorry, but I am paying rent, you know. And just because I'm living with them doesn't mean I'm freeloading.
What? You're paying them?
Of course. I contribute $1,000 a month. We all agreed on that after discussing it together. And that's why this arrangement works.
1,000? I can't even afford that right now.
I bet. And while we're at it, the only reason this works is because we get along well. And, you might not realize it, but Sabrina can't stand you. If you tried to move in, she'd leave the second you mentioned it.
What? She doesn't like me?
Oh, and your grandkids aren't fond of you either.
Jeez.
I mean, I guess you knew that much. So living together? Dream on. Face reality.
But without a job, I'll lose my place to live too.
And?
What do you mean?
You contacted me because you thought I'd actually do something for you.
Well, I was hoping maybe you'd help somehow.
It's time you realized something. We're almost divorced. To me, you're just another acquaintance. I have no obligations to help, nor any reason to.
Don't say that.
You know, I don't even need to listen to you anymore. Our relationship ended the day we separated. And to be honest, there's no point in continuing this conversation. So, let's call it a day.
Wait, hang on. You don't have to be so cold about it, do you?
From now on, unless I find it absolutely necessary, don't expect any replies from me. I can't help you anymore, and I have no intention to.
Please, Diane. Just hear me out till the end.
Oh, I've heard enough. Once again, goodbye.
Diane, please wait. Can't you come back?
Jason decided to start drawing his pension early, probably thinking he finally managed to live independently. But of course, it didn't take long for him to hit a wall. His spending habits hadn't changed, and his pension alone was far from enough. Even so, he didn't cut back or make a budget, and just kept spending without any thought. Finally, he called Sean, and had the nerve to demand a $4,000 monthly allowance, claiming,
"You're living with your well-off mother, so you can afford to give me that much."
Sean, as the responsible provider he's always been, was unfazed by such nonsense. He thought it over, and decided that he couldn't financially support him anymore. Quietly, he arranged for Jason to move into a low-cost senior home far away. Then, he took him there himself, telling him coldly,
"This should be enough for you,"
before leaving. Since then, I hear Jason spends his days alone, with no visitors at all. Meanwhile, I'm happily living with Sean's family in a lively home. It's given me even more motivation to work hard, making sure I'm never a burden on my family.